Yo, what's up guys, it's Traizel, and today I have for you another tutorial. Before I start the video, I want to remind you guys about the giveaway I'm doing. If you didn't watch the last video, I'm doing a giveaway for a $25 gift card to either Xbox, PS4, or Steam. In order to just be put in the giveaway, just share my channel to 3 other friends, have those 3 friends subscribe to me on YouTube, and then just let me know on any social media, Xbox or Twitter or whatever it is. And then once I do that, I'll put you in the giveaway. Once I reach 100 subscribers, I will be giving away that $25 gift card to one of you guys. Today's tutorial is going to be a tutorial about a multiplayer lobby. Now, what I mean by that is it's going to be like a lobby that you can have for like your multiplayer server. Anything like this lobby is going to be something for like a mini games slash like it's mainly going to be for like a mini game server, but you can use it for anything you want to. Basically, this lobby and your server or world slash realm, whatever you have, people are going to be teleporting into this lobby, and then after that it'll be able to track the amount of people in the lobby. You can set it to how many people are allowed in the lobby and how much the minimum, maximum, as well as like if there is a certain amount of players in the lobby, you won't be able to start the game, or if there's too little people in the lobby, you won't be able to start the game. So you can keep track of that. And also, once you start the game or whatever you want to do with the lobby, you can have the lobby tell the game that there's this many people in the lobby, and then you can have the game be like, hey, there's 7 players playing the game. So it's pretty cool that way. Like for example, like for like a Bed Wars game that I'm working on, if there was 7 people in the lobby when the game started, you can tell the Bed Wars that like, hey, there's 7 people playing the game. So once 6 people die, that means that there's 1 person left, so the game will finish and that person will have won the game. So basically this lobby, people will teleport into it and get a group of friends or whatever for a game or whatever you want to do. And then once they get the required amount of people in the lobby, you can do whatever you want, start the mini game or whatever you're trying to do. For example, this one is I think 3 to 11 players. It's a realm, so obviously 11 is the maximum, 10 people plus me. So once you get above 3 or 3 plus players, so more than 2 people, you can start the game. But if there's 2 or 1 people in the lobby, you cannot start the game. And I'll show you how that works here. Okay, so here I am inside the lobby. As you can see, there's a button to check in, button to leave, and behind there's like some information about the game. This is a hide and seek map that I'm working on. It's 3 to 11 players. I have a main lobby where you can like choose the map and stuff. This map is the recess map. It's like a school. And then once you read the rules, click to start. There's obviously no start button because I'm the only person in the lobby. What you can do, press the button to check in. You have checked in, and then it says players 1 out of 3, need 2 more to start. If I press to check in again, it says you've already checked in, so it doesn't let you check in more than 1 time. If you push to leave, you leave back to spawn or wherever you want it to take you. For me, it's the main spawn. You can have it take you wherever you want in your world. Then obviously I'm going to go back to the place. Now it reset it because I left, so there was nobody in the lobby. So now it's back to 0, so I can check in again. Oops, check in one more time. You have checked in, and now it's at 1 again because I checked in. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. I have this command block I just made here, which kind of makes me a new player as if I wasn't in the lobby. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to check in. This is 1 out of 3. I'm going to press this button to make me like a new player. I'm going to check in again. Now it says 2 out of 3. So there's 2 people in the lobby. I'm going to check in one more time. Now it says press button to start the game, which now there's a thing over here that says start the game. I'm not going to press that because that's going to start the whole game, and I'm going to show that in another video. It's a little buggy. I'm not going to quite show that yet until I have it perfected. Now if I press leave, say like 1 person left the lobby, there's now 2 people in the lobby. So if I go back, it should say 2 out of 3. Yep, it says 2 out of 3 now. Okay, so now that you guys know how it all works a little bit, like the basics of it, I'm gonna build a second one over here, like a really basic one, just kind of show you guys how to build it, like how to do some variations of it to like make it your own. Okay, so now that we have the little square here where you have the lobby, so people are going to be teleporting in here. Let's get this coordinate here. It's gonna be 1170 to 11 negative 475. I like to put it in chat so I can look back to it later. The first thing you want to do is obviously make it so people can't like kill each other in the lobby, because obviously people can kill each other. That's, you know, not good. So these 5 commands right here will do that. So let's just get a repeating command block. So the first one's gonna be game mode A at all players that are in survival and a range of like 20. So, and have it repeating and always active. And usually I don't like have it happening constantly. I have it like on a delay of 20 ticks. So every 20 ticks it'll happen. So basically everybody that's in survival in this area will be put in adventure mode so that people can't break blocks. And also we're gonna do effect at all players in adventure mode inside the lobby, so a range of 20. Weakness for 1 second, and max weakness true. So basically what that does is it gives everybody inside the lobby weakness so that they can't hit other players and damage them. And put that as always active. And I'm going to copy that, control copy. But you can just type in the second command. So basically you do the same exact thing, except it's going to be, instead of weakness, it's going to be resistance. So that now, not only are they really weak, but they also have a lot of resistance so they can't die. So we can do the same thing, except it's also going to be fire resistance, so they can't like be hit with swords and be lit on fire and stuff. The last one I have is just something from my server. Basically, I have these things on my server where you can drop them on the ground and be teleported somewhere else. Now, with this lobby, you want to make it so people, when people are inside the lobby, the only way they can leave is by pressing that button. They can't leave like, obviously if they leave the game, they will, that's another way of leaving, but there's a way we can counteract that. I'll show you in a little bit. But if you have some other way you can leave by like dropping a thing on the ground and like being teleported to spawn or something, you want to do that. So what I do is I just do clear at a m equals a, oops, range equals like 20 die, because all the tokens, that's what I call them, the things that drop on the ground, they're all just dies. So I clear everybody from dies so that when they get into the lobby they can't teleport back to spawn using a token, and the only way they can leave is by pressing that button. So now that we have all that finished, the next part would have to be the check-in thing. This is the check-in. When they press the button, it'll run 2 commands. The first one will test if they have been tagged already to recess lobby. Now you can name this tag anything you want. It really doesn't matter, but make sure once you decide to name the tag, it's named all the same thing. So I name it recess lobby because it's the lobby for the recess map. Then if they are already tagged, it says you have already checked in because they've already been tagged into recess lobby. And I do it twice. Once on their screen, like as a raw text, and you can see that here. Raw text is a little complicated, but this is how you do it. And then you can also do an action bar, so it displays on like the screen here, like on their screen. Then, if they haven't been tagged yet, so which means they haven't checked in yet, it'll add them to the tag. And then what it's gonna do is it's gonna add this villager right here to a score of another score, not a tag. This is gonna be a score of recess counter 1. So every time someone checks in, it's gonna add 1 to this villager of recess counter. Now before you do that, you obviously want to do scoreboard objectives, add, and whatever you want to call it, dummy. So I called this one recess counter because it counts how many people are in the lobby, and you add it to the villager. And I have it right next to the command, and I just do a range of 5. So type equals villager, range equals 5. And then it says you have been checked in, and it does the same thing as an action bar. So now let's do that over here. So let's go back into the lobby. So let's place a button right here and get a sign that says check And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna have, just like we had over there, some redstone coming out with 2 signals, and you have to have the repeaters there so that it can go into both command blocks. Then you're gonna have 2 impulse, and it's gonna test for at P, so the closest person to it, with a range of like 10, and then tag equals test. And then this one's gonna be, actually this one will be not test. So to do not test, you just put an exclamation mark in front of it. So this would mean the tag was not test. So it'll test if the closest person is not tagged to test. And this one is test for at P, range equals 10, tag equals test. Then this is gonna be, the next one's gonna be, chain and conditional. So it's gonna be chain, so it happens after that command block. It's gonna be conditional, which means it only happens if the command block before it was true. So if it tests, if the person that pressed the button does not have a tag of test, this won't happen. But if they don't have a tag of test, this will happen because it's testing for a person without a tag of test. And always active. Then if they don't have a tag of test, it'll just say title at P, range equals 10. You are already checked. And make sure you also do action bar here. Or you can do title. Let's just do title as an example. It could be anything you want, really. Just let them know that they have already checked in. Don't just not do anything. You want to make sure that they are like, oh, I've already been checked in. Just make sure that they know, you know. This will be the same thing, but if they have been tagged, right? Well, I'm doing it backwards. I'm sorry. This is if they have already been tagged, that means they've already checked in. Then you say that. If they haven't been tagged yet, then that means they haven't checked in yet. Then you do this. So first thing you want to do is do scoreboard, objectives, add test. And make it a dummy, so I just added an objective named test. Before that, you want to tag the person into test. Add test. Then let's do that. Conditional. Scoreboard. Players add at E, because it's an entity. Type equals villager. Oops. Range equals 5. We test 1. So that's 1 to test for them. And after that, it's gonna go chain conditional, always active. Title at P, range equals 5. You have been checked in. There we go. And then obviously we gotta make a villager right here. Spawn a villager. Okay. You want to make sure the range like reaches the lobby, because right here I did range equals 5, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That just only go to here. So you want to make sure the range reaches the lobby so that it can actually, like, you know, right here tell the person that you've checked in, and right here add the tag. That was a mistake I just made there. So if I press the button here, it'll say, oh, dang it. Found Traizel. Added me. Oh. There we go. Okay. So if I press the button here, say you have been checked in. I press it again. You have already checked in. You've already checked in. So I can only check in once. Now the next part is going to be this. This is the leave one. So basically, it'll test if the person has the tag of recess lobby or test. And then if it does, it'll remove that tag from the villager. So if the person is leaving with the tag, because sometimes a person doesn't check in and wants to leave without checking in, so then you don't want to remove it from the villager without that. So if the person checked in and they're leaving, it's going to remove one from them, from that guy, and then it's going to remove the tag from the person and then TP them to spawn or wherever you want to TP them. Then if they don't have the tag, it's just going to TP them to spawn and not do anything else, because it doesn't need to do anything else because they don't have the tag and they didn't add one to this person. So over here, we'll do that. Add a button here. Add a sign. Press to leave. Then same thing. Let's do this. Go like that. Then we're gonna go. Let's get this guy. Oops. It's gonna test for at p range equals 10, tag equals test. Same thing for this one, but not test. For at p range equals 10, tag equals not test. So now we have one for test and one for not test. Well, if they were tagged into test when they're leaving, it's going to remove one from this guy. I'm literally just going to copy that because it's almost the same command. Oops. So instead of adding one, it's just going to remove one. You just change one word in there. Then after that, it is going to remove the tag instead of adding the tag. Remove test. And make sure all of these are conditional and always active. Remember that. Okay. And then it'll TP them to this. Now remember that after this command happens, they will not be in the tag. So you just want to do TP at p range equals 10. Because if you did tag equals test, it wouldn't TP them because they're not tagged anymore. And then let's just do like just above this command block, because I don't want to go all the way back to spawn. Then if they're not tagged, let's do this command. So you want to up this range because the village is more than 5 blocks away, so I usually do like 50. That's too much, but do like 20. Then it should be big enough. And that should work. And maybe this should be like 15 because it's further away. And if I do this, it should TP me right there. And also to have the display, and also to have the thing start the game, so a button pops up when it's enough players. You gotta have these things right here. Just quick clear my inventory, and then basically all it does is tests what the number of the villager is, like what score they're on. So if it's at 0, it's just gonna say check in to start. If it's at 1, it's gonna say need one out of 3, need 2 more to start. 2 and so on. And once it gets to 3, it's gonna press button to start. Then it's gonna clone this sign right here down there. And it's also gonna set an oak button down there so you can press the button to start. And this is all the stuff to start the game. Then if you go back down to 2, which is this one right here, it's gonna just set them to air so that you can't start the game. And then all these ones are just up to 11. Same exact thing. Just if, you know, it was a number bigger than 3. Like if there was 8 people in the lobby or something like that, 9 people in the lobby, it would still display as press the button to start the game. So for this, we're just gonna go like test for at E is villager, range equals 30, and scores equals, then you gotta put another bracket there, test equal 0. So when they have when a villager within the range of 30 has a score for the test of 0, this will be true. So it is always active, and it should have found them because this guy has tested a score of 0 right now. And when that happens, it's going to do conditional, always active, title at A, in an adventure mode with a range of 20, action bar, check in to start, ... No targets match selector because there's nobody in the lobby. Now I'm just going to copy this. Instead of doing 0, you do 1, and so on. For this one, you're going to say, instead of checking to start, you're going to say 1 out of, let's say this game will be like, 4 to 8 players. So 1 out of 4, need 3 more to start. Then I'll just copy that. And once it gets to 4, once there's 4 people in the lobby, they'll say press start to start the game. Make sure they're all conditional, which I forgot to do, because if they're not, they'll just do it all the time. Okay, so I added the rest of them. This should be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, because there's 11 max people on a realm. So I said it's 4 to 8 people. This is the 4th person, so let's click to start. Then we're just going to copy that and do for 5, 6, 7, 8. Once you get to this one, it's going to say title at A, say range equals 20, action bar, too many people, have some people leave to start. Copy that and do it for 10 and 11. Now you just gotta find the coordinates next for where we want to place the start button and sign. So place the sign and button right here, then do start. And we want to copy that and find the coordinates for it. So then what you do is you make sure it's facing the same direction. So figure out which direction it's facing, and then kind of place it right here, same direction. So you can clone this over there. So once you get to 4 players, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can place another one that's going to be conditional and always active. It's going to be clone. You got to find these coordinates and -476. And you do that twice. And then you do the coordinate that you want to clone it to, which is going to be 1170, 212, -473. And then you do the other one for the button, which is going to be set block 12, -473, dark oak button Oops. And also another thing you want to do is you want to figure out which tile ID the button is. So what I usually do is I stand next to it and do set block circle button until it works. So that didn't work. Then you do 1, 2. That works. So it's going to be 2. So then you just do a number 2 after it. Basically, the tile ID is which side it's facing, because this side will be a different tile ID. So this one would probably be like, you know, 1 or 3, and it's gonna be probably 0. It's one of those ones. So each side is gonna be different, you know. So when you get to 4 players, it'll do those ones, and if you're at 3 players, do the same ones, except this is gonna set block with that coordinate to air. Same with this one. It won't do a button, it'll do with air. So it'll go away once you don't have enough players. And also once you get too many players, which I believe is right here, it'll do the same thing. So let's get rid of these 2. Yep. Okay, now the last thing we need to do obviously is just have it start the game. Now we just simply need to just run a few commands. Now it depends on what you want to do. You can have it do anything you really want to do. But if, say, you wanted to do like a mini game, what I do, like the way I have it here, it's kind of a little complicated, but I basically set this one to air, and later on I set this one to a repeater so that people can spectate later on. But basically I clone a sign that says press to spectate in there so that people can spectate, and then I also set a block there as a repeater so that when they press the button it won't go through this way, it'll go through that way instead. And then it'll add a ticking area over there, which is the main commands for the minigame, as well as clear their effects, everybody in here. And then it's going to TP everybody over there, and it's going to set a redstone block over there to start the commands over there. So if you want to do something like that, or you could do literally whatever you want to do. Like I said, I'll do a video on how this works when I perfect it, so that I can show you guys how to make a mini game, hide and seek. I'll probably do more tutorials on how to make mini games in the future if you guys want to see those. Like I'm almost done with the Bed Wars mini game. It's really glitchy though. It takes a lot of time to just perfect it. So say here we go. So now that it's pretty much finished, say that there is nobody in the lobby, or right now there's nobody in the lobby. Now let's quickly just make a thing here to make me a new player. And to do that, you just do tag at p remove and then the tag, so test, and that would make me like a new player. Oh, I probably have something as unconditional. This is what happens when you have something as unconditional. It'll just run it through constantly. See, it's unconditional, so it's constantly running it through no matter what happens. Yep. Yeah, okay. Yep, there we go. So it should be good now. So if I go into adventure mode again, check in to start. You've been checked in. I don't know why it says that. Okay, so you can't start an action bar with like a symbol. You have to start off with like a letter. So I just added players to the beginning so that it actually will say something instead of that weird thing it just said. If I go back to game mode A, it'll say players 2 out of 4, need 2 more to start. So remove my tag, check in again. I'll say 3 out of 4. Now if I do it one more time, it should pop up here. Yep, there it is. And if I went too far, it would take it away again and say I needed people to leave. And people would leave, it would go back. What I could do, what I should do actually here. When people leave, I should have this again right here, so that when people go down to 8 players, it'll bring the sign back. You should do that as well, because if you had too many players and it takes it away and it went down to 8 players, it wouldn't bring the sign back unless you did this. So okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I'm doing a giveaway. Don't forget to do that. Obviously, if you want a free $25 gift card, doesn't hurt anything. Once I get 100 subscribers, I'll be giving it away. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, turn on bell notifications. Don't forget to like the video. And as always, peace out, everybody.